Good morning. It is 18 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, a community development director here for the city of Roswell, Kevin Maevers, back with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
How you doing today?
Like I was telling you a minute ago, I could use another hour or two of sleep.
Yeah, I keep telling them, can we do this morning show at noon? But they don't. No one seems to be too receptive to that idea. Yeah. Of course, for folks that don't know, of course, we had you last month for our first time for our monthly visits here. Mm-hmm. Kevin, you're kind of the guy that for the city that keeps your ear to the ground and talk, business develop, that whole just kind of, encouraging growth of the city and kind of keeping and helping to foster that here in our community.
Yeah, for those that don't know, as a community development director, my broad category of responsibilities is primarily growth and development. Mm-hmm. And since I hit the ground a little over a year ago, we've been focused on, of course, growing our industrial base, mm-hmm. growing the commercial base, and growing the residential base. When I moved here a year ago, I found out right away, because I wanted to buy a house. I found out right away, and in no uncertain terms, how tough the market is right now.
And the part that's crazy is we're the better community. Of the, mm-hmm. Like you go to Artesia, and they're in worse off situations than we are when it comes to housing.
But when you're working with one of the best local real estate agents, and he calls you on a Friday night and says, "Hey, we've got this brand new listing, and it's a good neighborhood and everything else," you take a quick look at it, write an offer on Saturday, deliver the offer on Sunday, and what comes back is there's 3 other full price offers. The market's tight.
It's a competitive market, but and some of that's been the way of the world too here. Mm-hmm. Things got more in demand and supply got less, and that's true in every facet of life here. So that's, but good news is, and that's something that despite the COVID world we live in, mm-hmm. Roswell's been growing. I mean, and there's a lot going on here. I mean, just commercial businesses alone, we're getting 5-6 new businesses coming to the community or being built or plans of being built here. Major businesses, ones that tentpole ones that people look at, restaurants, things like that. There's a lot going on in Roswell right now.
Well, I don't know if you were up at the north end of town this week, but did you see Bahama Bucks?
Yes, it's open.
Did you see the line for Bahama Bucks?
My wife is probably their biggest fan in Roswell. She loves Bahama Bucks. When she went to college in Texas, mm-hmm. she had her plenty fill of Bahama Bucks. And so when she heard they're coming here, she was one of the first people in line, and she's been a couple times. She's braved the line and been through it a couple times just to get her Bahama Bucks fixed.
There you go.
So I'm very well versed.
Okay. Well, when I was here a month ago, we spent a lot of time talking about the commercial development mm-hmm. and things. This past month has been more about residential development.
Okay.
We've had some tremendous opportunities that have come forward within the city, and if you were at last night's planning commission meeting, mm-hmm. you would have seen 2 significant subdivisions, about 120 units total.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, that's more than we typically build in 2 years.
Okay.
Here. Okay. And we got that approved in one night.
Nice.
So we're going to see increasing availability, mm-hmm. I think, at all levels and at all types of housing. The thing that's going to make life a little more difficult mm-hmm. is, of course, the cost of goods and services.
Sure.
That's anybody who's been to Home Depot lately knows, Yeah.
You go to the grocery store to buy a steak and see what that costs. No, that same problem's going on in the hardware stores mm-hmm. and in every facet of business right now.
But, and of course, that's the bad news. The good mm-hmm. news is, though, it appears that the economy is beginning to start to roll mm-hmm. here in Roswell, and that's going to be good for everybody.
Absolutely.
That's more jobs, better jobs, mm-hmm. higher pay, higher wages, and more opportunity, especially for our kids and grandkids.
Sure.
For that matter.
As far as the housing types go, are they some of these new areas? I mean, because generally we think of you got your low income kind of affordable housing, you got your family middle, and then you got your big mansion things. Which Which level of residential are some of these neighborhoods going in? Kind of the.
Would you be surprised if I said all of the above?
Okay, very good.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's especially the first two there. We definitely need more of.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. We just went through and did a complete review for some workforce housing.
Okay.
Some apartments.
Okay.
That are actually going to go just down the street here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
So the 70 new units. That'll be here very close to town, so it'll make things very walkable, very livable.
That's nice because you don't see a lot of that kind of development like in the downtown corridor as much. Right?
But I think you're going to see more and more of that.
Good. Okay.
The markets, the way it's changing, traditional office space is becoming less and less of a thing.
Yeah, virtual world, I guess.
Yeah, well, people are working from home more.
Yeah.
They're calling in. So what you're going to see with some of our high rises and mid rises and other things is you're going to see what's called adaptive reuse.
Okay.
Where they will adapt a particular building or a portion of a building, and instead of it being bottom floor of some kind of commercial and several floors of office space and things like that, you may have the bottom floor commercial, the second 2 floors office space, and then upper floors residential.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Or like you would see in like New York City or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Or even some of these buildings downtown here, where these first floors are barbershops and shops and things, but some of these bigger buildings have some apartments upstairs.
I mean, I drive right by the Sun West building every day when I'm going to work, and I look at that 10 floors there, and I was up in the 7th floor a few days ago, looking out the window, and I thought, how cool would this be to have an apartment right here?
Yeah.
Be able to have my apartment, go downstairs, grab my coffee, walk across the way, go to work.
Sure. I guess that one thing they'd have to think about which would be really cool is we may have, if this might be a good problem to have down the road, but if that takes off, we may have to consider putting like a parking garage or something downtown because if you have people in essence living here downtown all the time, then in essence they're going to be taking up more parking space.
Well, that's one of the things we are going to be looking at is the availability of downtown parking. Now, obviously, if we create a more walkable environment,
sure,
we aren't going to have quite the need for parking.
Yeah.
But if you are a retailer right here on Main Street, you're going to want to still have the ability for people to come from Artesia or come from the other towns and come up here, and they will be driving in.
Yeah.
So
they need to rely on more on foot traffic.
Yeah. So, but we'll, a downtown parking garage, that is definitely something that's on the table.
These are all good problems to have, by the way.
They are. And that's one of the reasons I love my job.
Yeah.
Okay. There are people that have the responsibility to deal with the uglier things in life.
Yeah.
I get to deal with all the good stuff.
Gotcha.
Every single day. I got somebody walking through my door that says, hey, what about this or what about that or something else? And I get to sit there and figure out how we get these things done.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
I would also think that because if you look at kind of the vision of the Main Street area, Main Street corridor, that area, and I think having apartments would actually fit with that vibe, and because with the businesses downtown, of course, Main Street Roswell doing their first Fridays. We've got outlets that do music and things. They kind of want to turn it into a little shopping district. You walk around in the nights, maybe go hit a restaurant, see some music, have a drink, go shopping, go check out another place. That's kind of the vibe they're trying to create there.
Yes, it is.
And with, say the Sunwest building housing, I don't know, a building like that, just given that, like you said earlier, say there's 20, 30, 40 apartments in there all of a sudden. Next thing you know, those people just walk downstairs to go eat and shop, and then they stagger on home, and, after they're done having their night of fun there, so that.
Wake up the next morning, bleary-eyed, walk across the street to Stellar,
That's
get their
right.
coffee.
Get their coffee fix, and then, But yeah, that's kind of it all fits with that vibe. So
exactly.
I hope that's something that, that the community embraces and likes to.
I do too, because I think everyone will enjoy it.
Yeah.
I've had some wonderful experiences in my life and my career where I've had the opportunity to live in areas that were very walkable, that were very energetic, very vibrant, all times of day and night.
Sure.
And it's fun. It's just plain fun.
Yeah, and it's nice to have that vibe in a place where you don't get that vibe. And what I mean by that is, like New York City, you have people that live there, and they literally don't need to own a car because they can walk or take public transportation. That's impossible in New Mexico because even if we do pull this off, unless you can't just all encompassingly stay downtown in Roswell the rest of your life. You're going to have to go to Artesia or
you underestimate me.
Challenge accepted. So you're probably going to need a car to go do other things. But you know what I mean? I love that it kind of creates that vibe and opportunity where you could spend a whole day, do all your errands, shop, and live your life, and have a full life, but in essence not have to get in a car and go drive the other town to do it. You know, that's kind of neat.
And you're so right about that. During one of my experiences, I had the opportunity to live in downtown San Diego, and I lived right in the Gaslamp district.
Gotcha.
The office that I was working at was up at Bankers Hill, so my commute was a 12-block walk.
Gotcha.
You know? And did I have my cars? Yeah, I had them. They're downtown parking garage. They were right there. They never moved.
Yeah.
There was no reason.
But you wanted to have it just in case. You're like,
Exactly.
you're not hold me down. If I want to go, I can go.
You know,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but that's really and that's a lot. That's not uncommon in city life. That's just
Right.
you know, it's because to be honest, in some of those cases, owning a car is a bigger hassle than a convenience in some cases like that. So, but yeah, I hope that does happen because and it would obviously be great for businesses downtown here because now. In essence, they could have traffic at much bigger, later, different hours now. This, you know, when except for First Fridays, you know, 5 o'clock, with the exception of a few restaurants and things, everything's shutting down. They're closing up and going for the night
Right.
and things. Where now maybe that's going to create a different vibe here, where you know some of these stores are going to stay, and it may even allow for other types of businesses to call Main Street area their home now,
and
because
that-
there'll be different needs for people in this area.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's where that ability to create not just the vibe, but the opportunity for those different types of businesses. I mean, the restaurants, the wine bars, the cigar shops,
Yeah.
all different kinds of things that are going to create that nightlife or weekend life.
I would even say you could put, you know, like a mini grocery store or something down here, or at least a place where people get milk, bread, toilet paper, you know, at 10 o'clock at night without driving somewhere. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And stuff like just little things like that, or boutique shops and
If
things
we-
that. Little hair salons and nail salons and places where people go grooming type things.
You're on top of it. So
Yeah,
it's-
exactly. That
That's how you're so easy to talk to.
Yeah, well, I get the vision because
you
you know
go.
I grew up in D.C. I know exactly you know that you know incorporating a little of that city life, and I would even argue that maybe this is a I wouldn't say a problem fixer, but maybe an option for, you know, one of our other problems in our community where they say we got our young people that go and they get educated and then they go hit the big cities or they go find a new place, creating an atmosphere that maybe younger people embrace. Because let's face it, I think when we think of city life and living in the apartment, you know, I think that I mean, all walks of life do that, but primarily we think single young people that are kind of starting out in life kind of mentality a little bit on some of that. So with that kind of vibe downtown, maybe some of these folks that are looking to go spread their wings are going to be like, you know what, I can build that life right here in Roswell, New Mexico.
And that's one of the things that was made very clear to me when I first came here. It was we are tired as a community of our children and our grandchildren picking up and leaving and going to find opportunities elsewhere.
Sure.
Why can't we create those opportunities, whether it's jobs or whether it's nightlife or education facilities, all those things? Nothing is, especially if we take into account what we can do online now. I mean, the truth is you can go to some of the top name schools here and never leave your living room or your bedroom.
Sure.
So if we have the ability to go to a top name school and our young people can study what they want to study, then the next step is what's the opportunity for them to utilize what they've just spent 3, 4, 5 years learning in order to make a living and make a life, create a family right here at home.
Sure.
And we get that a very nuclear type of environment where we do have people growing up, living here, not wanting to run off or not wanting to leave because they can find everything they need right here.
Yeah, if you've got everything you want and need in one location, why would you want to leave it? And
Exactly.
That's hey, we're making it too good to leave. That's the idea.
That's the plan. There you go.
I think just like some parents do with their kids. You know what I mean? They're like, it's like, I want them to get out, but I really don't, so I'm going to keep making their bed for them and picking up their laundry and all that kind of stuff.
That's a whole nother problem I can't solve.
Very good. But, and obviously with that comes other retail and other options too. We always talk, we as people in our community, I mean, that's some of the most exciting stuff when people hear what's coming to town and it's the new whatever, insert brand X here. And I think this will even allow to bring new, unique opportunities to see. And who knows, when you have those kind of communities, you start seeing like just better products. Like, I mean, like even like when you get those kind of communities and you're going to start seeing like artisan pizza shops and you know what I mean? Just stuff that's like just homemade.
That is the thing I've explained to so many people recently, because we do get a little pushback. Oh, it's another big corporate hangout. Oh, it's another big chain.
Not really.
But every time one of those moves into town, it gives our innovative and creative business people an opportunity. Okay, what are they? Okay, they make great $5 pizza. Well, don't make $5 pizza. Let's go ahead and make $10 pizza. But let it
give
be
an option.
The best $10 pizza in the world, and then give service along with that. And I can pretty much tell you, I guarantee you where I'll spend my money.
Exactly.
It won't be on the $5 pizza.
Sure. Well, and people feel like they got a better product when they go in there, and absolutely. But yeah, we get to create all of that here, and I think that downtown vibe, because in essence, if people are living here, you know, their whole lives are here, then they're bringing their talents here, and they're going to, and that's a lot of different stuff. And who knows, next thing you know, you're starting to see someone that makes, you know, some kind of unique candles or something, and next thing you know, they're selling them out of here, or food or whatever.
Well, there was a shop years ago that I used to go to, this downtown kind of. It wasn't really a mini mall, but it was a little shopping center, a little mixed-use development. And then this one shop in there, all they sold was olive oil.
Okay.
That's it. Okay.
That's a very niche market.
But they would come in and they would have tastings and everything. And you'd come in and get your little dab of bread and everything else. What you didn't see, thanks to the internet and global drop shipping, was 90% of their store, 90% of their business was going out the back door.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we had this wonderful little access to this really cute little shop, okay, where we could get fresh bread and you could get fresh olive oil and other things. But the money that they made was really going out the back door via the internet. And we can do that with virtually anything now. All it takes is people with talent and ability and desire.
Sure. And that's the local vibe, like you can, because you guys are feeling like, man, we got this artisan olive oil and bread. You know what I mean? It's like, feels like your mom and pop downtown. And kind of like in the, now younger folks, and this is something maybe I don't know if some younger folks don't get this. Back, you know, even before our times per se and our parents, you know, groceries and things, there was a lot of specialized services. There wasn't the one-stop mega grocery store. You know, our families and things that, you know, you want meat, you go to the butcher. You want bread, you go to the baker. You want, you know, especially in small towns, you know, produce, we're going to go to the little farmer's market or grocery. You know what I mean? Everyone was special. There wasn't one place where you could get bread, milk, toilet paper, and, you know, you had a sundry store that you could pick up knickknacks, but that wasn't the place you're going to get your meat and your milk and all, you know. So I think this will bring that back to that a little bit. And I'm not saying, you know, because that's kind of a good thing when you get the olive oil business. They're not trying to do 27 things. They're making olive oil. And when you do one thing instead of 27, you tend to be really good at that one thing.
There is a point of too much diversification.
And so I think this kind of brings it back to where people focus on their specializations. And now we're going, that's my cheese guy. That's my meat guy. That's my bread guy. You know what I mean? And I kind of like that.
I love that whole concept. In fact, as I was on my way to Roswell, you know, I was driving through west side of the state, and I'm seeing all the fruit trees, and I'm coming up, and I'm seeing the pistachio farm and everything. By the time I got here, I go, man, I need to open a restaurant or something, because we got pecans, we got pistachios, we got piñon nuts, we got prime beef and premium spirits.
Yeah.
What more do you need?
I think you could make some people happy with those ingredients
I
right
think
there.
you could.
And they got green chili, and then that makes it all magic.
Well, yeah.
But it's great to see, and I hope. But in essence, that's what the vision we're trying to create downtown here at some point if this
Absolutely.
goes through. So, and obviously, so really now that what's like the steps in that? Is it all about zoning and then and then meeting with potential investors and things?
There's several things. The city and the folks up here at the city, which include me.
Yeah.
We're working with Main Street Roswell.
Yes.
The organization Main Street Roswell. Now, Main Street Roswell has access to all kinds of additional funding to do the adaptive reuse, to do through Main Street, through New Mexico Main Street and Main Street USA.
For folks that don't know, Main Street Roswell is part of a national Main Street, which is a separate organization than your cities and all that. And so they work specifically. So like they get grants and opportunities for facade things that even city doesn't get access to. So that's where that partnership
and
going
on. And it really is a partnership. And that's one of the things I've been trying to do is strengthen that partnership with the city, because Main Street can't do anything if the city isn't on board with the zoning, with the parking structures, with all of the other things that go along with it.
Yeah.
So what we're going to be doing this year is we will be updating our downtown master plan.
Gotcha.
We'll be
That's step one.
Yeah, that is step one. So we have the railroad district over there where we got all those wonderful silos and all the other great buildings, those old things that, again, we can adapt for different types of things.
Music, art, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we've got all the downtown, and then we got our historic district just over here over my shoulder. And all of those three things together, we have the opportunity to create this really cool, funky downtown. So if you're a history buff and maybe aliens aren't your thing, but you know what? Billy the Kid is. And all the other stuff. We got all that going on over there. We got the alien vibe in the downtown. We've got an artisan vibe over here in the railroad district. And we can pull all of that together.
Absolutely.
And with people with the right kind of vision for the city, then it just becomes the will to get out there and find the people, because it will still require private sector money.
Absolutely.
That's a given.
Yeah.
Okay. So we end up with a public-private partnership. So you get somebody who comes in with their vision, but they need to, modify a building, bring it up to codes. They need additional parking, or they need to redo the facades and things like that. So it's everybody working together to create a better Roswell.
And me personally, I believe that's the role of government. The government's role is to not run and do everything, but be the conduit to let private sectors and things take over. Where the government engineers, okay, we're going to make sure the roads and the water and it's supposed to do what it's supposed to do for you guys. And we rely you on the private sector to drum up the business, to create the product, to make the opportunity here. We're going to give you all the pieces to make this a cool vibe. Now we need you to go and make the vibe.
and you're 100% correct in that. Our purpose over here at City Hall is to facilitate that development, facilitate that opportunity, find a way to create the rules and the regulations, or better yet, create the flexibility within the rules and regulations that will allow that creativity and innovation to thrive.
Yeah.
Okay. If we have and I've worked in a number of places where, boy, the zoning and development code, it is black and white, and there is no gray, and it's if you don't do
no
this,
wiggle room at all.
None. And what that does, of course, when you're that tight with your zoning and your development codes and things like that, you inhibit creativity, you inhibit innovation.
Sure.
So we have to find that balance between safety, security, orderly development, yet not so orderly that we crush dreams.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to find that. And then really that's the slippery slope that is government operations.
Because we do occasionally get somebody in City Hall with a crazy idea.
Well, that's humanity. There's two people. You get 10 people in a room, you're not going to get them agree on anything. You know what I mean? It's just humanity. Yeah. But that's where government comes in and says, all right, we got to make it. And But I love that, obviously you guys are seeing that, and then because that's got to be the vision. If not everyone sees that, then you can't go to the next step. So it's great to see. And I imagine there's probably a lot of business and private sector partners that are lining up and ready to say, you know what, I see the vision. I see what Roswell could be. If we lean it in that direction.
See, and that's where I'm hoping our monthly discussions will go.
Yeah.
How do we discuss the vision? How do we discuss the opportunities that are out there for us, and where can we take everything beyond where we've been?
Yeah.
Let's just face it, we've had 4 or 5 decades of pretty sluggish growth around here.
Yeah.
I think it's time to prime the pump. And
it's kind of a 2 steps forward, 3 steps back scenario where we think we're getting somewhere and then something happens. Yeah. And of course, the world we live in hasn't helped either.
Yeah, well,
so.
I'm not really good at walking backwards. So I'm hoping.
Well, all I can ask is if we get our vision and we got our mom and pop shops, please, somebody have the desire to open a good bagel bakery downtown. Because if I could go walk downstairs and get a bagel, I may just live right here. I mean, just tell my wife I'm going to sleep on that couch and I could just be right here.
You'll have a lot of people standing in line with you if we get a really good bagel bakery.
Oh man, my bagels are like my favorite breakfast, or just bread at all.
Yeah.
I could, sandwiches, they're the perfect vessel for everything. So I don't care if they're bad for your business. I think it kind of what the vision we're talking about is kind of something that's already here. It's just flaming it up a little bit because we really what we're talking about, the vision we're seeing is kind of what in some phases have already organically happened. We look and we got like your Stellar Coffees and you got these great music scene and over here we're Backdraft Barbecue, that district. Those are kind of starting to just form those ways. It's time to get that next phase to kind of foster and fan that out. And because let's face it, we got a great downtown here with a great vibe, and we got the beautiful courthouse and the lawn. There's so much stuff we can do downtown here, and so much we could add to this. And so I think it'd be really cool to, on a Thursday night in May, you're just kind of walking downtown. There's some live music over in Reichman Park, and some people hanging out eating some dessert or something over here, and people walking and shopping over here. Maybe there's a little event going on the courthouse lawn. That's kind of the typical night we're looking at here in Roswell, with just kind of just a fun people walking down the street shopping and mingling and having a good time.
There is the downtown has got so much unrealized potential. So much. And doing the things that you just talked about there, that's something that should be every Thursday, every Friday, every Saturday. It's just, there should be a reason that people want to come downtown, they want to stay downtown, they want to do things downtown. And so, we just have to create the vision. We have to articulate that vision. We get people to buy into the vision, and we make it happen.
And it's going to be a great mix of tourists and locals downtown because obviously, we got the UFO Museum and that side of things. I would even make an argument. I know the Walker Aviation Museum folks have had that as kind of a vision, but seeing if we can get them out of the airport and downtown here near the UFO Museum, I think those two could work well hand in hand together, drawing. That way people are learning our alien side and seeing the military, because I think they go see the alien side and they're like, oh, the Air Force Base. Huh? Let's go next door and see what's going on over there. And then they learn, oh, man, how many World War II pilots were trained right here? And learn all the other stuff. And so I think all of that, let's bring it all to the party, man. I think that would be, and then with that, on top of that, with the development going on at the airport and things like that, which in essence, that's good for business and good, but I also would say that's good for tourism too. I mean, there's going to be some folks that maybe use Roswell as a jumping off point for their vacations because they can fly right into here and they'll do that, and then they go hit the Grand Canyon or wherever places they go on their road trips and all that. So, there's a lot of potential there. And
I think we're going to realize a lot of that potential.
Yeah.
Just so stay tuned.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, if anybody has any questions or just wanting some, maybe getting involved with development stuff, I know there's a lot of committees and stuff that citizens can volunteer on that you guys work with and kind of, creating policy and visions and things like that before they send stuff up to city council and all that. But What's the best way to get a hold of your office if they do want to talk to you about some of this stuff?
The city's webpage.
Just call the city. And
just go straight to the city's webpage. Click on the community development link. You'll see my name, phone number, email address, everything right there.
Then you can reach out to Kevin if you're thinking, maybe you're thinking, hey, I used to do some of this back in the day. I'd love to, serve on some committees or something to help.
Well, the other thing I think we invite participation. Mm-hmm. Okay, like I said, we had last night's planning commission meeting. There was maybe 10 people in the audience. Why shouldn't there be 100?
Yeah,
looking at those things. All of our city council meetings are either online or live. And there are a lot of commissions and committees and other ways people can get involved. It all depends on what your passion is.
Absolutely. Yeah. But this is your home. This is where you live. And if you have a vested interest in it, then go to a city council meeting or at least watch them online or, stay tuned in to what's going on. Reach out and ask and talk, get involved. And certainly here, if you want to be, if maybe you have ideas and things, we'd love to have you serve or come out to the meetings or come out to when Joe Nebb has his next, I always call them ward meetings where he kind of has like a community meeting in different wards. Generally, sometimes they address specific items. Other times they're just more generalized, hey, what's your questions kind of thing. But participate and all those things are things that are opportunities for you as Roswell community members to share your opinions, state your desires, and ultimately get involved in our community. So, good deal. Well, Kevin, I'll let you get back to, I guess now it's time to go to work. You probably didn't have to get up early here today. So,
no, they're expecting me next door. So,
well, Joe, he came in an hour early. Let him an hour off early.
Yeah. Not quite sure that's the way it works.
I know. It's worth a shot. I keep trying to get the morning show to start at noon. I'll try to keep getting you off an hour early when you come in on this.
There you go. So,
Kevin, as always, appreciate the visit. We'll see you next month. All right?
Sounds good.
Take care.